Hare Krishna, welcome to the Gita coaching presentation. Today we will be speaking about power of questions, and we have wonderful things to cover. We will be looking into Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 5 to start with, and I'm going to read this. It's just in front of me. It's Canto 1 is called Creation, and Chapter 2, from which I'm reading the 5th verse, is Divinity and Divine Service. Munaya sadhu prishtoham bhavadbir loka mangalam yat krita Krishna samprashno yenatma suprasidati. Translation: O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Since it has been stated herein before that in the Bhagavatam the absolute truth is to be known, the questions of the sages of Naimisharanya are proper and just because they pertain to Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth. In Bhagavad Gita 15:15, the Personality of Godhead says that in all the Vedas there is nothing but the urge for searching after Him, Lord Krishna. Thus the questions that pertain to Krishna are the sum and substance of all the Vedic inquiries. The whole world is full of questions and answers. The birds, beasts, and men are all busy in the matter of perpetual questions and answers. In the morning, the birds in the nest become busy with questions and answers, and in the evening also the same birds come back and again become busy with questions and answers. The human being, unless he is fast asleep at night, is busy with questions and answers. The businessmen in the market are busy with questions and answers, and so also the lawyers in the court and the students in the schools and colleges. The legislators in the parliament are also busy with questions and answers, and the politicians and the press representatives are all busy with questions and answers. Although they go on making such questions and answers for their whole lives, they are not at all satisfied. Satisfaction of the soul can only be obtained by questions and answers on the subject of Krishna. Krishna is our most intimate master, friend, father or son, and object of conjugal love. Forgetting Krishna, we have created so many objects of questions and answers, but none of them are able to give us complete satisfaction. All things but Krishna give temporary satisfaction only, so if we are to have complete satisfaction, we must take to the questions and answers about Krishna. We cannot live for a moment without being questioned or without giving answers. Because the Srimad Bhagavatam deals with questions and answers that are related to Krishna, we can derive the highest satisfaction only by reading and hearing this transcendental literature. One should learn the Srimad Bhagavatam and make an all-around solution to all problems pertaining to social, political, or religious matters. Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna are the sum total of all things. So I will read the Sanskrit again as we do in the Bhagavatam class and the translation before I continue speaking. Munaya sadhu prishto ham bhavadbhir loka mangalam yat krita Krishna samprashno yenatma suprasidati. O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. I will be occasionally clicking on the laptop here on my left hand side because then the chat becomes kind of stuck. I want to be on the chat. So I will repeat again. The verse is Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Text 2, Chapter 2, Text 5. 1, 2, 5. This is the very important verse and purport about the importance of questions, and today we are speaking about the power of questions. So I have learned from one teacher. He said that the quality of our lives depends on the quality of questions we ask ourselves all day long. For example, instead of asking why they are not perfect, you can turn it around and ask, how can I improve? It's a very simple shift or a turnaround strategy, but we fall into this trap of asking why others are not perfect or why the other things are not in place, and then waste time instead of thinking, what can I do in my circle of influence to improve my life and lives of other people? So if you ask questions in your circle of concern, then it's mainly a waste of time. But if you ask questions and take action in your circle of influence, then this circle of influence can expand and your circle of concern can actually decrease. So it's very important to ask good quality questions. So I will be giving you some questions today throughout this presentation. There is so many powerful questions that we can ask, and I will share some of my personal favorite questions, and I will share some of the questions that I have learned from others. But there is a good body of knowledge about asking questions in the market. And of course Srila Prabhupada in this purport, he stresses that we should inquire about Krishna. People in this world think that they are incomplete, that something is missing, but according to Ishopanishad, invocation verse, it says that the complete whole, which is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he creates small units who are also complete in themselves. And our completeness actually can be achieved if we are connected through service with a complete whole. We are trying to become complete by finding a perfect spouse, finding a perfect family, finding a perfect house, finding a perfect bank balance or a perfect car or a perfect fame, but all these things are not fulfilling us. There are so many people who are rich and famous, and yesterday I heard a program where one person is working with famous people and their lives are empty. They're not happy. Their self-esteem or self-confidence is extremely low and they are completely distressed. So we have to practice asking powerful questions that actually will make a revolution in our lives. Therefore, power of questions is of utmost importance in our lives. Questions, what questions can do for us? They immediately change what we focus on. Instead of focusing on other people's imperfections, you can focus on your own excellence and your own perfection. Then questions act as a laser of human consciousness. They concentrate our focus and determine what we think, what we feel, and what we do. Maybe you have noticed that the thinking process is consisted of questions and answers. In the mind there is always these questions and answers. So we can actually influence that by making a conscious effort. then quality questions, they change the resources that are available to us. They are able to change our beliefs, and then we can consider what is possible and what is not possible. Like, for example, simple question, what else could you do to achieve that goal or solve that problem, expands the options. You might think I can do only one or two things, but actually if you relentlessly ask, what else could I do? What else could I do? Then you can actually expand your options. So questions expand the resources available to us. They open up new worlds and give us resources that we might not have believed they are available. For example, you can, if you are a manager and someone comes to you, you can ask people, what do you think? How can your job be improved? I usually teach leaders and managers that when people come to them and ask them for a solution to a problem, most of us, we are problem solvers, but actually a higher approach to management is that you become an empowerer, one who empowers, one who doesn't solve problems, but he helps people to take responsibility to solve their own problems. So if someone comes to you, oh, I have a problem, instead of being a savior, you can ask them, did you think how to solve this problem? Oh no, but that's why I came to you. You see, I didn't think. So you want me to think for you? You are not able to think? Well, I don't know. It's so hard, and I was thinking for 2 seconds, or 2 minutes, or even 2 hours, but I didn't come up with anything. Well, now you have a wonderful opportunity right now in front of me to think hard. And you have a pen and paper, and you can come up with 5 solutions to this problem. And this is maybe first time that they are thinking really deeply about how to solve this problem. So people have a tendency to be lazy, and then they don't think. They want you to think for them. But your job, your service as a leader, as a parent, is to ask them to think, to stretch their brain, to engage their intelligence, to use it, and to find their own ideas and their own solutions. Now, questions that you ask yourself, they are shaping the way you see yourself and you see the world. So if you have powerful questions, your thinking can be much more productive and your actions can be much more successful. So if you learn how to control the questions you are asking yourself all day long, then this will actually influence your results, and it will positively help you to achieve your goals. Often the resources that we have are actually only limited by the questions we ask. So one thing that limits your questions is actually your belief about what's possible. So if you create better questions, you will get better answers. So our life experiences are based on what we give attention to, what we focus on, and questions change what we focus on. So it's very, very important. I will tell you a little story later on how one question saved one man's life from practically impossible situation, from extremely difficult situation where almost no one else was able to be saved. Before I tell you a story, I want to give you, to start with, few very powerful questions. For example, we have, who am I? In the scriptures. Kayami, Sanatana Goswami was asking Lord Chaitanya, he was saying, people adore me as a learned scholar, but I don't know who am I. So please tell me, who am I? Why I'm here on this planet? Then, what is my life really about? These are very, very essential questions that we need to ask. Even as devotees, sometimes we take it for granted, but we actually don't know the answers to these questions. If you have a problem in front of you, you can ask, what's great about this problem? How can I turn this problem into an opportunity? What can I learn from this problem so that it never happens again? How can I use this to my advantage? What am I really committed to? There is a powerful question. What I'm ready to cross the I-beam for. I-beam is like a rail track. You know, it's like maybe 10 centimeters wide, and you can walk on it when it's on the ground. But imagine, while we still had the World Trade Center, 2 buildings, you put this I-beam or this rail track line between 2, and it's a very thin like a pathway, thin space to walk on, so it's very risky. You can slip any second. What would you be ready to cross this I-beam for? This can show you what is important in your life. This is a very powerful question. What would you cross the I-beam for? Maybe on the other side somebody is torturing your child, or maybe on the other side is Krishna, and you would take that risk to cross the I-beam for. But this simple exercise can help you understand what is most important to you. So these are some of the powerful questions that you can use in your life. And of course, all these questions, maybe you're making notes, but all these questions are available on my blog, and I can send them to you if you write me on akrura@pamkhal.net. My email is actually on krishna.com, where the Gita coaching, helping devotees succeed videos are stored. These programs, like tonight's program also, we have them stored, and there is all my details there. You can contact me in many ways, and I will send you everything I have, anything you want about questions. I have a whole folder I have been collecting for years, so it's all yours for free, because I would like you to find the questions that really change your life. Seriously, because powerful questions changed my life, and I would like to share this with you. So I promised you a story about questions, and after that story I will give you 10 positive questions that I published recently on my blog, and then after that I will also share 15 other questions. So occasionally I have been publishing on my blog different questions, and some devotees have been using them and reading them and reporting to me that they are very useful for them. So this is a true story from the Second World War. Nazis came to this man's house and arrested himself and his family, and they have taken them to the concentration camp in Germany. This was in Poland. Killed his family in front of his eyes and forced him to work hard, and did experiments of his body, and planning to kill him in the gas chamber. So unlike other prisoners, this man was thinking, how can I escape? And he tried to talk to some of these prisoners and convince them that let's make a plan how to get out of this hellish place. But they were saying, you're just torturing your mind, don't think about it, it won't work, and it's too risky. And he said, well, what's risky? We're already in such a hellish situation that I don't know if it can get any worse. And they would say, well, see, you're still alive, and just shut up. But he wouldn't accept that. He wouldn't accept it. He would ask every day, how can I escape? How can I escape? There must be a way to escape. How can I escape? I don't know if he was praying, because this is not in the story. He was maybe praying to God to give him an idea. But one day, after very persistently asking this question for many days, he got an idea. He saw this truck with corpses, because in gas chambers they actually did massive murders, killed these people, and then put them on the truck, and then they would unload them outside of the premises of the concentration camp, outside of the fence, which was, these wires and that you couldn't go through. So one day when they were coming back from a hard work in the twilight, it was a bit dark, and the guards were a bit ahead, and nobody was thinking that anybody will try to escape. These people are very skinny, these people are weak, these people are dejected, so nobody was trying to escape. Even if they would try, they wouldn't go very far. So he took advantage of this inattention of the guards, quickly took off his clothes, put it in the bushes, and climbed at one of the trucks. So he was still within this premises of the concentration camp. So he climbed up naked and mixed with the corpses. Of course, corpses, some of them started decomposing, stinking. It was scary to be with all these dead people. But he was thinking, maybe it's worth it, let me try. He took that risk. And the driver came after some time, after about an hour, and drove out to the hole where they would unload all these, hundreds of corpses. So it was very unpleasant, the truck goes like this, then all these heavy bodies, falling together, including our hero, who was asking this powerful question, how can I escape? And it was not easy for him. This is a very austere thing to do, but he was thinking maybe it's worth it. So he was very quiet, and nobody noticed that there is a live body there, or a live person there, and that all these dead corpses are not alone. So nobody noticed that. The driver didn't notice, others who were around, like guards, and nobody was suspecting something like that, because no one ever tried to do this. So he was very quiet and waiting that the truck goes away. And the truck was staying there for some time, and so he was waiting patiently until the truck completely left and there was no sound of human voices and of cars or trucks. And after about an hour, he got up and ran 20 miles naked to freedom. So imagine, this question saved his life. He was asking the right question. Other prisoners, they were asking why I'm in this situation, why life has done this to me, why God has done this to me, I don't deserve it, why these Nazis are so cruel and so crazy. But he was asking a different question, a simple question: how can I escape? The most common sense question to ask in this situation, but as we know, common sense is not a common practice, unfortunately, even in our lives. So what are the common sense questions that you are not asking in your life? You can think about it and try to create some powerful questions. One thing that I teach is mutual coaching or peer coaching or peer questioning. So once a week you can sit with your friend and you can give them the questions that you want to ask them about the things that are important to you, and they can ask you these questions and you can think about the answers. So it will help you focus on what's important to you and be like a checkup system whether you are following up on your top priorities. What is most important to you? What matters most to you? Are you really doing the things that you like to do and that you want to achieve? And are you pursuing the worthy goals? Happiness is defined as working on achieving worthy goals. Somebody defined happiness as something like this. So then also, after let's say half an hour of discussing about your situation and looking into these important questions that you would like others to ask you daily or weekly, you can ask your partner, success partner can give you his questions or her questions, and you can ask them back with some sub-questions with very genuine, sincere interest. And this become a very high quality association and inquiry, and it becomes like a coaching session. So it can help both of you succeed and become more happy and more productive in Krishna consciousness and in life in general. So this is a very simple system. So this man in the concentration camp, he found the right question. I have some creativity cards from the company called Idea Champions. They're from Woodstock, New York, and they have 55 cards called Free the Genie cards. Genie being the metaphor for our inner potential. And one of these cards, that one of my favorites, is ask the right question. Ask the right question. I can send you this card if you like, or I can send you the website where you can play with these cards online and, you know, play with your goals. But also we have turned these cards into Krishna conscious cards called Gita cards that have a quote from Prabhupada, that have a common sense, powerful question, and this can also help you when you work on your goals and when you work on the things you want to achieve. So, as I said, I want to give you now 10 positive questions. We are almost halfway through our presentation. I have posted them on the, it was on the 9th June this year, and I have got a very good response to these questions. I call these positive questions PQ. So you can jumpstart your day every day with these questions. What am I most grateful for in my life? This is number one. Number two, what am I happiest about in my life? Number three, what am I most enthusiastic about in my life? Question number four, what I would like to focus most in my life. Number five, who and what am I most committed to in my life? Number six, who do I love and who loves me? Number seven, what great ideas can help me succeed? Number eight, what are my best strengths, talents, skills, and abilities? Number nine, what would my ideal life be? What is my dream? And number 10, what's the best in me that I can offer to people I love and to the world? Of course, all these questions we can also turn into Krishna conscious questions and connect them directly to Krishna consciousness. But I have put it here because some of my readers, they are not directly devotees and into Krishna consciousness. They are sometimes professionals who are interested in the Vedas or interested in the Bhagavad Gita. So I don't want to hit them with so many questions relating directly to Krishna consciousness. So these are about your general values, your general goals, and some of them may be spiritual, some of them not so spiritual. So I try to make them like all-encompassing like this. Yeah. So I have learned from many experts about questions, and we'll be looking to some of them later on, like wisdom access questions from one of the top world coaches. She's from New Jersey and her name is Laura Berman Forgang, and we will look into those questions. But I want to share with you some of the questions that are my favorite questions. I have gotten them from different sources, but I put them in one place and I want to give them to you and share them with you. And of course, as I said, I can send them to you. You don't have to make notes now. You just listen now. Whatever you want, I will send you. It's absolutely free. What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? I repeat, it's a bit long. What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? If time or money wouldn't be an obstacle, what would you do? If you would have all the resources? That's a very powerful question about your dreams, about your highest goals. Then about problems, I already mentioned what's great about this problem. This is a very, very powerful question. What can I learn from this? Also very, very powerful question. Instead of being upset, you can ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I improve in every area of my life? So if you ask this consistently every day, how can I improve in every area of my life, then I'm sure you will improve in some area, and you will improve to some extent, and it will get better and better. Other favorite questions: what can I give today? What charity can I give? What support can I give? What encouragement can I give to people? So what ways can I give? Now about giving, Bhagavatam says that Krishna is most pleased when you give to him and to others something that is most dear to you. It's easy to give something that you don't need. And then people sometimes bring to the temple some clothes that they don't need, and they think that they are so charitable that they are giving to the monks, and monks are so happy to get some new clothes, like a sweater or some trousers for Sankirtan. But actually, if you want to give a charity to monks, to people who are saintly, give them your best clothes, give them your best things. Then Krishna is more pleased. How can I serve today? Another question. How can I serve today? Whom do I want to serve today? How will I spend my time serving today? So there is unlimited opportunity to serve, and people need assistance, people need help. Another very, very powerful question for everyday's excellence. What one thing, if I would do superbly well every single day, would make the greatest positive difference in my life? What one thing, if I would do superbly well every single day, would make a greatest positive difference in my life? So often devotees said, if I sort out my japa, if I sort out my chanting, that one thing will make a greatest positive difference. For somebody is reading Prabhupada's books, for someone is getting up early every single day, for someone is to reduce eating sweets, maha sweets, any sweets. For someone is to give up intoxication, for example, if somebody is addicted. So we have different, but one thing, if you would do superbly well every single day, that will have the greatest positive impact. In any particular area, I would say, you choose the area, and then you can ask this question for every area. One of my favorites also: what do you want to have in your life? Excuses or results? Devotees like this question. In my courses, they always laugh. And then I ask, so what are you expert in? Are you expert in achieving, are you expert in making excuses or in achieving results? And they inevitably say, well, we are expert in making excuses. So then I say, well, you have to turn it around. If you want results, you have to become expert in achieving results. If you want to achieve goals that you've never achieved before, you have to start doing things you've never done before. Somebody said that it's a definition of insanity that you continue doing what you are doing and expect different results. So sometimes I say to devotees who are not willing to change that if you continue doing what you are doing, you will continue getting what you are getting. So it's your choice. You always have a choice. What do you want to do? Another daily question, which is very practical and powerful: what can I do better today than I have done yesterday? So you reflect on yesterday, thinking, okay, what I was been doing yesterday, what can I do better today than I have done yesterday? You can do better japa. You can be more self-control regarding eating. You can control your tongue. How do you speak? Speak sweetly. Try to speak sweetly. In Italy, we were saying, devotees, parlare dolcemente, which means speak sweetly, or in France, parler gentiment, speak sweetly, is the same thing. And in the 15th verse of the 17th chapter, Krishna is speaking about the austerity of speech, and he's saying that speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and always reciting the Vedic literature is the austerity of speech. So, to me, this is speaking sweetly, speaking based on the scriptures, and speaking uplifting, encouraging words, and not agitating people's minds. Of course, sometimes when you speak the truth, some people are agitated. It's natural, but you don't. It's not your intention, and you are very positive, and you want to speak in a way that people become uplifted, in a very, very inspiring way. With your words, you can either destroy everything, or you can build things, and you can develop everything. And this is one of the lists that I have, but one of the very, very important questions. And if you use this question, it will really jumpstart your action and your motivation and everything. It's very simple, but the key to this question is to use it every single day. You have to be bold and humble at the same time, and conscious that this human life is very precious and very rare. Manushya durlabha janma. So are you ready? This is the top question. It's two questions actually. If not now, when? If not now, when? If not you, who? If not you, who? So you are thinking you can live for the next 20 years or 30 years, but you don't know if you will live few minutes. There is a sense of urgency. If not now, if you're not going to go for your dream now, for your hopefully Krishna conscious dream now, then when are you going to do it? You might die tomorrow. So there is a sense of urgency. I'm seeing a little bit on the left hand side there is maybe some comments, but I don't have time to look at them now. I can look later. Devotees are sending comments on the chat. And if not you, who? We always think that somebody else should do something, but we should take initiative, take responsibility. If it's to be, it's up to me. If something has to be done, I'm going to do it. I always give this simple example. You're going around the premises, like here in Alachua, around the premises of the temple and looking, say, oh, what is management doing? You see, this is not clean. So my question is, why don't you clean it? You have hands, you can take a little bag. Why don't you pick up the spoons? Why don't you pick up the cups? Why don't you pick up any other rubbish and make Krishna's grounds clean instead of criticizing management? This is taking initiative. This is a simple thing. But more than that, we want people to take departments, to take projects and to run them and to be leaders. So if not you, who? You want to tell me that you are humble? I don't believe you. Humble, this is just hiding so that we don't take responsibility, because responsibility is scary. If you take responsibility, people criticize you, you're a leader, and everything is on your back. All the burden is on you. At the same time, people don't like you because you're a leader, you're prominent, but if you understand that Krishna is pleased, you can take it and be happy with that. So if not you, who? Well, this is for some other people. No, it's for you. You are called upon Krishna. Krishna is calling you that you take responsibility. Take something and do something significant. You have so much ability. So if not you, who? This is a very, very challenging question. So if you ask yourself this question every day, and if not me, then who is going to do it? And Krishna can use anyone as instrument in his hands. Krishna is, I have been posting on the Facebook today, Srila Prabhupada said that no one can check what God decides. It doesn't matter whether you help God or not, but it is in your interest to become his instrument. It's in your best interest. So these projects are there, things will happen anyway, with or without you, but you can get credit and you can get so much benefit by participating in this great mission. So please consider this question, if not you, who? Very, very important. I promise 15 another questions that I want to share with you. So these questions can make huge. Now, one thing that can make huge positive difference in your life every day is the questions that you ask. So this is one thing that can be answered to that previous question. Now, I urge you not only to ask questions but also to write down answers, because one who asks questions cannot avoid answers. And there is a power and call to action when you put your thoughts in writing. So if you're bold, you are going to write down, I want to do this. So this is now another set of 15 powerful questions. I published them in 2007 in September on my blog, and they're available there. It's gitacoachingblogspot.com. Very simple. Gitacoaching, one word, .blogspot.com. And if you type questions, then this page with articles will come, and you will be able to find so many resources there. But I can also copy it and paste for you and send it to you. I will be happy to do that. Okay, question number 1, not 15 questions. What one decision would I make if I knew I would not fail? This is similar to the previous one I mentioned. So we have to make decisions. Like when I coach devotees, they say, I'll try. What are you going to do next week? I'll try to chant my rounds every day in the morning. Well, either do it or don't. Don't try. One devotee in one of my coaching sessions here, actually courses, said that try is an acronym for taking responsibility yourself. I like that very much, because it completely destroys the meaning of try. Don't try, just do it. Either you do it or you don't do it. Don't try. So make a decision. I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to do it. Number 2. What one thing should I eliminate from my life because it holds me back from reaching my full spiritual potential? Once again, what one thing should I eliminate from my life because it holds me back from reaching my full spiritual potential? So one thing that I want to eliminate is inattentive chanting. It's a luxury that after 25 years, still this chanting is not, fully attentive. So whatever you want to eliminate, something that is an obstacle, either external or internal, something that is holding you back, you can use this question to do that. Am I on the path of something absolutely marvelous or something absolutely mediocre? So definitely, if we are seriously on the path of Krishna consciousness, we are not on any mediocre path. This is the road less traveled. This is the road that people are afraid to travel, because only people who have enough money can buy diamonds. Only people who are bold can actually face the fact that we are eternal servants of God. So it's a challenge. Question number 4. Am I running from something or to something? So we can have a pattern in our lives, always trying to escape something, avoid something. But if you take initiative to run towards Krishna or towards spiritual purification or advancement, then this can help a lot. Question number 5. What can I do to make better use of my time? Or often when I work with devotees, I say, you can ask yourself frequently throughout the day, what is the most valuable use of my time right now? So you question that very second, that very minute, how are you going to spend it? What is the most valuable use of my time right now? How can you make a better use of your time? Because you don't have unlimited time. You are going to have to leave this body. The death is coming. Number 6, who do I need to forgive? Forgiving is a completely selfish act. There is a whole series on Krishna.com of forgiveness, And Mahatma Prabhu invited me. I participated in one of the sessions sometime in early May, and also the person that we have to forgive is ourselves. Sometimes people forgive others, but they don't forgive themselves. They torture themselves for their whole life. We have to move on. Your past doesn't equal your future. What impossible thing am I believing and planning for? This is number 7. What impossible thing am I believing and planning for? So this is analogous to Srila Prabhupada's principle of shooting for a rhinoceros, or thinking big. Are you, at least in your thinking, bold that, oh, what if I could achieve that for Krishna? Or what if I could achieve that about my own personal purification? So what impossible thing you are planning for or believing? Or for example, maybe you want to give talks at universities, you want that every home has a Bhagavad Gita, you want to distribute books even while you sleep, which is possible if you have online selling system. So in this way you can sell while you sleep. Or Vaisheshika Prabhu has a smart box, which is just put in the shop, and then people come, leave a donation, take a book. Nobody sells it, they just take it, and it works on its own. Even in the evening, I mean, you can, if you sleep in the evening early and the shop is working until 10 p.m. and you are in your bed at 8:30, then for an hour and a half while you are sleeping, people are buying books. Number 8, what is my most prevailing thought? Are you aware of your thinking, feeling and willing, which are functions of the mind? Are you aware how sankalpa and vikalpa work, how mind accepts things and how mind rejects things? So we need to become aware of the functions of the mind in order to control them better. Number 9, what good thing have I previously committed myself to that I have quit doing? So we make a New Year resolution, start well for a week or two, and then give up and say it's too hard. I decided to chant from Janmashtami. Now Balaram's appearance is coming, or from Janmashtami I'm really going to revolutionize my spiritual life. How many times have you done that? And then it goes for some time and then we slip. So we commit to something, then we quit it and we feel very bad about it. So we have this need to complete things. It's very important, completion. Number 10. There is 6 more. We covered 9. Of the people I respect the most, what is it about them that earns my respect? So who are your role models? That's a very important question. So what do you respect about Srila Prabhupada? His determination, maybe it's his humility, his great knowledge, his genuine care for people, his unbreakable determination, and above all, his great faith and love for Krishna. Great faith in and love for Krishna. So what is it that you respect about people who are your role models, and how are you going to emulate it yourself? Now when you have a situation, you can ask a good question: what would a truly creative person do in my situation? I ask some similar questions. Devotees like, if you would be super intelligent, how would you deal with this? And then they are thinking, if I would be super intelligent, how would I solve this problem? But I'm not super intelligent. How can I think like that? Well, try. And sometimes they come with amazing ideas, as if they are super intelligent. Another way, similar thing, if you would be a world expert, let's say somebody has a conflict and comes to me and says, well, I have a conflict with this devotee. And I said, if you would be a world expert on conflict resolution and mediation, what would you do? And they're scratching head, thinking, and said, well, I would probably think win-win. I would probably try to understand that person and start saying things that are actually key to resolving this situation. So this intelligence is available, you know, but we are limit ourselves by the way we think. So truly creative person, truly intelligent person, what would they do in this situation? This is a powerful question. What outside influences are causing me to be better or worse? How do we react to these influences? Do we accept them? Do we reject them? Are we able to stand still in the face of adversity or rejection or infamy? How do we deal with these things? What is the basis of your security? Does your security lie in the principles of that you follow, Krishna conscious principles and God's laws, or it depends on the social approval of everybody else? Simple question, number 13. In what areas do I need improvement? Very, very simple, but very nice. And then if you don't know, you can ask people around you. Many will be happy to tell you. Okay, number 14, more positive. What gifts, talents, and strengths do I have? We tend to focus on negative things. But what about your strengths? What about positive things? What about what's good about you? What are your strengths? What are your talents? What are your successes in life? When you look at these things, you can see that you have a lot of opulences already. A lot of opulence there are available, and you are actually a good person. You are a good devotee. But you have this incredible self-sabotage habit to always beat yourself up, criticize yourself, criticize others, and be a super negative person. So if there is one thing that you are already so successful in, your expert in, is being negative. Not all of you, but some of us. Sometimes you're doing it, you're expert, sometimes you're positive, but we are all sometimes good at this negative stuff. So we have to stop these bad habits. And number 15, what is one thing that I can do for someone else who has no opportunity to repay me? So could you practice unconditional giving? And what would that do to your spiritual life? Will that please Krishna? Will that please that person? Will that improve your relationships? Will it develop your confidence in God's principles? So sometimes they speak about anonymous service. You do something secretly, nobody knows, like you clean, and they say, oh, who cleaned this toilet? Well, nobody's here likely to clean. This guy is just sitting at a desk all day. He's too intellectual. He doesn't pick up anything that is weightier, heavier than a spoon or a pen. So I don't believe he's done it. But if you do a survey in the office or in the temple, you can see there is some people who secretly do things like cleaning the toilet, or even sometimes cooking something, or even repairing something, or helping somebody. So these things happen. So what can I do for people who are not able to do anything in return? Are you able to give unconditional? So these are some of the questions. And I have tons of questions that we didn't even access, like wisdom access questions. We don't have time to cover them. It's 5 minutes till the end of our broadcast. I have also 50 power questions from the solution box. It's also from one coach. And wisdom access questions we will keep for some other. I can send them actually to you. You can look at them. I don't want to betray you. But I have found recently 4 questions. One devotee recommended the website. They're very powerful in questioning what mind is saying. So I want to share them with you. And wisdom access questions, I will just write it here. You can order on Akrura at pamho.net. And of course you can find my contact details on the page, Gita Coaching page on Krishna.com. On the TV's page there is Gita Coaching link. So the 4 questions are, first question is it true? When you say something or the mind tell you something, you can always ask first, is this true? Is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? That's question number 2. Now, how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? So our lives are actually based on our beliefs. What you believe, you act based on these beliefs. So questioning that, how do you react? What happens when you believe that thought? Let's say you believe you're incapable. So how do you react? Well, you don't take action, or you're just dejected or depressed. What now? Amazing 4th question: who would you be without the thought? Without that thought, who would you be? Would you be something less? Would you be something more? Let's say you give up the question that you are incapable of doing something. For example, of giving a class, Bhagavatam class in the temple. What would you be? Well, you would be capable. You would be a devotee who is capable of giving a Bhagavatam class. And you can turn the whole thing around. The negative thing, I'm incapable, you can start saying, well, I'm capable. And we will speak about the power of language, power of positive language, in some of the further broadcasts. There will be a few more in July on Gita coaching. So thank you so much for listening, and I'm sorry I haven't been so active on the chat. I wanted to give you a lot of good content and quality content about the questions. And as I said, resources are available to you. Anything I have can be yours. Just email me and let me know what you want, and I'll try to not try, sorry. I caught myself. I will not try. I'm going to send you as soon as I can, and it's usually not longer than 1 day. And in this way I want to share with you these things, and you can use them and help your success. And hopefully these questions will help you succeed. This is our service to help devotees succeed, and this is one of the tools. So I'm getting some messages here. Thank you, Bhakta Patrick, for your comment. And which notes? You need the resources about questions. Silver? Yes? Just email me. I need your email. You have to email me on this akrurapam.net, and once I have your email and your clear request in the form of a question, for example, then I will send you anything you want or anything I have. I also have storage on Humyo, so I give you a link and you just download things. And if I give you a link, then it's a public link, so you can download things from my website. Yes, please send me your email, and I will send you things. And we have 2 more minutes, so if you have, who has the best question? Do I give answers? Well, in coaching we say we have questions and you have answers. So Krishna is also in your heart. I can give some ideas, but it's better if answers come from you, because you are the expert on your life. I am not an expert on your life. You are an expert on your life. So you should be able to think deeply, think intelligently, and come up with some good answers. Okay. Well, I've been seeing several devotees here. I don't know how many are listening, but whoever is listening, thank you so much. I'm really grateful that you are being interested in this content. And if I can serve you in any way, let me know. I'm also posting on the Facebook, Akrura Dasa, on the Facebook daily quotes, motivational quotes, audios, whatever we record, music, wonderful pictures of the deities and Krishna, devotees. So there is a lot of resources there, and if you become my friend on the Facebook, then these resources will be available to you. There is videos, audios, many things, texts, articles, shorter articles, longer articles. Also there is some posts from my friends on the Facebook. I have over 400 friends, so they also add a lot of value to my Facebook. So please take take advantage of this and make your life a great success. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.